What's up, y'all? This is going to be the 12-inch singles that I've picked up over the last year or so. And got quite a few singles to go through, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into them. I'll show kind of the major label stuff first, and then I'll show the underground or the independent singles last. First up, you got Ghetto Boys, Crooked Officer, 12-inch single, Scarface, Minute to Pray, and A Second to Die. Big Daddy Kane, In the PJs, and Show Improve. Show Improve, pretty crazy posse cut, produced by Premier. Got Shaheem, ODB, etc. Big Daddy Kane, I'll Take You There, with Wrath of Kane on the B-side, one of the great early B-sides, non-album cuts. Big Daddy Kane, Raw, and Word to the Motherland, first release of this. I've actually found this at a flea market. Big Daddy Kane, Ain't No Half Steppin', and Get Into It, picture cover version. This is kind of not necessarily a really rare single, but when I was a kid, this is probably one of the first singles I had on wax. And my copy ended up, I don't know what happened to it. I think I loaned it to somebody, I ended up losing it. I've been looking for a nice copy the last few years. Finally found a picture cover version of this. Got like 3 copies of this. Newer releases or just like in the company sleeve. So finally found the picture cover version again. It's the Biz Marquee, a couple copies of this. It's kind of like the bootleg version. Produced by Large Professor. I really like this cut. Public Enemy, Black Steel, and the Hour of Chaos. Caught Can We Get a Witness, and B-side wins again. Single from the Takes a Nation album. Public Enemy, Shut 'Em Down, with Pete Rock remix. Well-known remix. Organized Confusion, Stress, and Large Professor remix on the B-side. Most people seem to like the Large Professor remix more. I don't know why. I'm really more of a fan of the original Buckwild version. Eric B. and Rakim, Follow the Leader, 12-inch single. One I just didn't have. Really like the picture cover on this. Another Eric B. and Rakim single, probably the most well-known, Juice, Know the Ledge, from the movie Juice, that gold promo stamp. Method Man, Riddler, off the Batman Forever soundtrack. I didn't think that there could be a dope song on the Batman Forever soundtrack, but this is definitely qualifies. Staying in the Wu-Tang Camp, Shaheem, Pass It Off, and my personal favorite, the B-side, Lick a Shot, which is actually on the A-side of the single. The B-side, Lick a Shot. Another copy of that. Wu-Tang Clan, Mystery of Chess Boxing, and Method Man remix. I think this is one of the last 12-inch singles from the end of the Wu-Tang album I didn't have. Sticking with early Wu-Tang, Genius, I Got Your Back, 12-inch single. Again, I think this is one of the last singles from Genius, first album I didn't have. Wu-Tang Clan, Can It Be All So Simple, and Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to F With, promo version, which I didn't have, just had the picture cover version. Redman, Tonight's the Night, with I'm a Bad and Rated R on the B-side. Then you got Time for Some Action with Rated R on the B-side and Time for Some Action remix. This one I only had a sealed copy of, so now I got a playable copy. EPMD, Headbanger, it's a much nicer copy than the one I had. Freestyle Specialist, Supernatural, Buddha Blessed It. Really love this single. Pete Rock, Soul Brother Joints Volume 2, featuring my personal favorite, Pass the Mic by the Youngsters. I didn't even realize was produced by Pete Rock for a long time. It's a lot of good joints on it. Some more Pete Rock production. YG, radio ready versions of their EP. All produced by Pete Rock. Taking it back to the West Coast, Dell, Catch a Bad One, and my personal favorite, No More Worries on the B-side, along with Whack MCs. This is the promo version. I think I showed the picture cover version before. You got Above the Law, Black Superman. Love this track off the Uncle Sam's Curse album. Ice Cube, Endangered Species remix, and Dead Homies off the Killer Will EP. You got the single for America's Most Wanted off his first solo album. Out of the Lynch Mob, you got Katie with Hidden Corners, and the B-side, Hand That Rocks the Cradle, which is not on the LP. Found this in a dollar bin actually in the Midwest. I was really happy to pick that up. You got Mr. Grimm, Endo Smoke, produced by Warren G with Nate Dogg off the Poetic Justice soundtrack. Found a sealed copy of this, pretty cheap. NWA, Gangsta Gangsta, Quiet on the Set, something like that. One of the first NWA singles off Straight Outta Compton. MC Ren, Forget What You Heard, and Mayday on the Front Line. Shock of the Hour, MC Ren's second album, was actually really good. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Snoop Dogg, Sensual Seduction, single. Dr. Dre and Snoop, deep cover, off the deep cover soundtrack. First appearance of Snoop on wax, as far as I know. Cypress Hill, Latin Lingo, Stoned is a Way of the Walk, and Hand on the Glock. One of the last picture covered Cypress Hill early singles I didn't have. Sticking with the Soul Assassins crew, Funk Dubious, Dedicated, and Rock On. Yeah, it does have Rock On. I really love Dedicated though. The Roy Ayers sample, one of the best uses of that sample in my opinion. Really like this track. Too Short, Short but Funky, off the Life Is Too Short album. Decidedly anti-West Coast, you got Tim Dog, the F Compton Mega Mix, which is kind of cool. Ultramagnetic, Make It Happen, with Chorus Line Part 2 on the B-side. Special Ed Lyrics with the Buck Wild remix. That's another single people debate over the original version of the remix. Definitely like the Buck Wild version better. Count Bass D, Sandwiches, with, it's a single-sided single with Sandwiches and T-Boz Tried to Talk to Me. The B-side, since there's no music on the B-side, it's actually just an etched like promo single, which is kind of crazy. It's like somebody just took an X-Acto and just etched this thing. That's how they came. Kind of crazy. Got this purple vinyl of Chino XL, No Complex. Love Chino. Tribe Called Quest, Can I Kick It? If the Papes Come. Some more Tribe, Oh My God, Oh My God remix. Getting into some Southern hip hop, Outkast, Spotty Yachty Dopalicious, the Peach Panther vinyl, kind of pink peach color, promo version, pretty dope. Somewhat rare. Outkast, Ain't No Thing, Crumble and Herb, and Hoo-dee-hoo radio versions. Jazzy Bell, the remixes. Artist Storytelling Part 1 with Slick Rick. Slick Rick wasn't on the album version, so this version's kind of cool. Got Knuckleheads, All She Wanted, promo, produced by Eric Sermon. Knuckleheads from, I guess I don't know if they were Hit Squad or Def Squad, but supposedly they went to school with Eric Sermon. Been down with him all along. Red Hot Lover Tone, 98, and Strictly For My Peeps on the red vinyl. Strictly For My Peeps, really classic posse cut with B.I.G. 9, Make or Take with Smooth the Hustler. Really love this single off the Cloud 9 album. Channel Live, Madism and Reprogram. This has got Buck Wild remixes from Madism, 2 different Buck Wild remixes. Got Boogie Down Productions, You Must Learn, with the Caucasus Mountain remix, which I'm a big fan of. Boogie Down Productions, Love's Gonna Get You. Didn't have the picture cover version of this. Just like this one, I didn't have the picture cover of this. My Philosophy by BDP, classic, of course. Another promo of How Many MCs. Actually, I guess this is the retail version, but I didn't have the one with the hype sticker on it. This is actually a pretty dope hype sticker on this one, so I picked it up just on the strength of that. Slick Rick, Mona Lisa, and Hey Young World. Slick Rick, It's a Boy with the Large Pro remix. A lot of people say that's one of Large Pro's best remixes. You got Rex, Say Goodnight, and Lawtown remix of Big Dreamers, produced by Static Selective. I really bought this on the strength of the A-side. This is a really dope production by Premier, and I just like the Rex cut in general. They just re-released this. The original release, even though it's not that old, it's going for like 40 or 50 bucks. And as soon as I saw they're re-releasing this, I jumped on it. Normally not a big fan of re-releases, but being on kind of a major label, I just didn't feel like it was worth what they were asking. I actually like the B-side on this almost as much as the A-side. B-side has really impressed me on this. Just fire front and back. Impossible to obtain hip hop. These are some cuts that kind of non-album cuts. Showbiz and AG, Stand Strong, Gangstar, Take a Rest. A few pretty good cuts on this. Return of the B-Girl by T-Love, Underground EP. Audio 2, Make It Funky, and Top Bellin'. This is the first press of Top Bellin'. Lords of the Underground, Funky Child. This is a lot nicer copy than the one I had, so I picked it up. Found this copy sealed. Master Ace, Slaughterhouse, with Born to Roll and Style Wars on the B-side. Ed OG and the Bulldogs. I got to have it with Life of a Kid in the Ghetto. Found this copy sealed. My copy was a little bit beat. I jumped on this. Then you got Gravediggers, 6 Feet Deep, Clean LP. And this one's kind of cool. This is another one of those that gets pretty creative with the sound effects to block the curses. I think that's pretty dope. One of the cool things about it. Then you got this promo LP, America's Dying Slowly. Kind of cool. Comes on red vinyl. This is an AIDS awareness LP put out in the 90s. You got Quest the Mad Lad. What's the Scenario and What's the Reaction? Actually, what's the remix and what's the reaction? Quest the Mad Lad, pretty funny dude. Nas, It Ain't Hard to Tell, remix. Street Dreams by Nas, with Affirmative Action on the B-side. A couple copies of Jamal, Keep It Real, another favorite of mine. Grand Poobah, I Like It, with Buck Wild remix. Gangstar, You Know My Steez, and So What's Up. This is a Euro promo version, a version I didn't have. You got Code of the Streets, Speak Cloud on the B-side, Gangstar. Another Gangstar single, Just to Get a Rep, and Who's Gonna Take the Weight. This is a single I've got a couple copies of, but this one was like perfect shape. This is out of that guy that used to run the record pool, got the promo stamp, so I had to pick this one up. You got Guru, Watch What You Say, produced by Primo, and Respect the Architect, the Buck Wild remix on the B-side. I actually found 3 copies of this. This is Kanye West with Nas, KRS-One, and Rakim. Classic, Better Than I've Ever Been. A Nike promo single. I think I put one of these up in an earlier video. I found a copy that was maybe just a little bit beat, and I found a guy that had a bunch of these, and I picked up 3 of them. This single's actually really rare. It was never released at retail. It goes for probably like 50 bucks or so. So I found 3 of these for less than half of that price. You got J-Rue, Can't Stop the Profit with the Pete Rock remix. DJ Premier and Jay-Z collabo, kind of like a, I guess it's an Arista EP. Got So Ghetto, The Eagles in the PJs, Friend or Foe and Bring It On, all produced by Premier. Big L, Street Struck. Staying in the DITC camp, you got Showbiz and AG, Fat Pockets, Silence of the Lambs remix, promo version. This is like a mint copy of this one. My friend Frank found this one for me at a Goodwill outlet, I think. Showbiz and AG, Bounce to This, Silence of the Lambs, and Hold Your Head. I don't know if this is a test press or a promo, but pretty dope. Showbiz and AG, Next Level with the hype sticker. Love this single and never had a version with a hype sticker on it, so that's really the only reason I picked that up. Uptown, Dope on Plastic, Test Press. I think I showed the picture cover version of this in one of the last videos. Just found the Test Press, kind of a New York classic, or Jersey. I guess it was New York. Tupac, If My Homie Calls, and Brenda's Got a Baby off the Tupacalypse album. And Tupac, Papa's Song, and Peep Game. Really like this Peep Game track. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'm gonna show some underground kind of independent singles I picked up. First off, you got 10 Thieves, It Don't Matter. Call of the Wild, Clouds of Smoke from the Bad Boy soundtrack. Really dope single. These next few I got from my man Toby from Germany. Peace, Toby. We did a trade, worked out really well. Big Red and Diamond D created a monster and a Cosby song, How They Want It. G-Dep, Head Over Wheels, and Blow More Spots on Tape Kings. One's been on my want list for a while. Megalon, Peace to the Homeless, and 1 in a Million. I was playing this 1 in a Million track produced by MF Doom the other day, and my man Bryce said it was like one of the worst tracks he's ever heard. Like, it was trash, so I thought it was pretty funny. But Megalon, Out of the Monster Island Czars. Lyrically, I think this is pretty dope, but it doesn't exactly like move the crowd. Millennium, How Far Will You Go? Kind of a positive single from mid-90s. I think this dude was from New York. There's actually a video for this on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Beat Terrorist, Big Willie Smith, aka Cool Keith. 4-song EP. This is the bootleg version though. Keep It Real, Represent, Wearing Makeup, I'm in Love with You, and my personal favorite, If You See, Then You See. Actually, If You See What You See. There's a, I guess Rhyme Syndicate East was rapping on this with Cool Keith, and there's a dude on here that sounds like a drunken pirate, which is just, I love it, man. It's just dope. You got Candy Store EP, radio versions, and dirty versions. Classic EP, Candy Store. Last one I got from Toby, Ring, Anything's Possible, Something's Gotta Happen, Ring, out of Baltimore. I really like this Anything's Possible track, so glad to find this. You got Danger Eye 5000, React to What, with the ill label artwork. Found a sealed copy of this. EC Illa, Vandalism, Volume 2. EC Illa out of Chicago. Had a couple instrumental albums. This is pretty dope. Bigfoot, Black Lagoons on Zestland. I'm trying to remember who else was on Zestland. Shades of Brooklyn, Paradise, How It's Done, and Wanted Men, Shades of Brooklyn. You got Raidermen, Aggressive Behavior, and Hostile Takeover. Obviously on some No Chill. Reservoir Dogs, The Difference, and Back to Birth, one with Murder He wrote on Buckwild's record label, Still Biggin', produced by Buckwild. Straight out of VA, Ill Biscuits, Chill Factor, Test Press. No One out of Baltimore, Third World Assassins, Third World Showdown. Ox Skills, Nights of Fear, produced by Buckwild, and Check the Flavor, produced by Finesse on the B-side. Actually found this one in the dollar bin, pretty happy about that. Divine Mind, Forever, My Walkman. My Walkman is my joint on this. Actually, this dude, Mr. Richter, I used to talk to this dude online like a long time ago, so I saw this and had to pick it up. Percy P, Nowhere Near Simple, and Don't Come Strapped. Percy P, who everybody knows, amazing lyricist. K Terrible, New York Bombers, and Cockback, produced by Diamond from DITC. Then I got a few of these, a few more kind of obscure singles. J-Max, To the Max, Eddie Meeks and Therico, Larger Than Life, and Gun Clapping and Pistol Whipping. Just based on song titles alone, I had to pick this up. Because, I mean, who doesn't love gun clapping and pistol whipping? Then you got these guys. This one cracks me up. This one gets the award for most original song titles. Partners in Poetry. A side is called Partners in Poetry. So the group's called Partners in Poetry. The A side is Partners in Poetry. And the B side is PIP, which stands for Partners in Poetry. But this is actually pretty dope. I don't know what it is about this single. It's got this weird kind of like fun vibe to it. I kind of like Street Military Next Episode EP with the Old English 800 label. It's pretty dope. Found this in a dollar bin too. It's kind of rare. Mental Illness, Amazing's Not Playing. ET's, Evil Twins, Ray Came True. Gemini, aka Gemini, the Gifted One, Makes the World Go Round, and the I. Various blends. I believe these guys are out of California. I really like this single though. The Dopest, especially. Adagio, Obvious Joint, and Acid Benefits, kind of an essential that I've been missing. Love that Obvious Joint track. This one, I've been trying to get this for a while. I finally did pick it up. MF Grimm, Do It For The Kids, and A Bloody Love Letter. Do It For The Kids is like probably the rawest first verse of like any song I can remember. It's just like super raw. Really love this song. Single came out on Fondle 'Em, probably one of Grimm's best singles. And if you haven't checked it out, Grimm's actually got like a graphic autobiographical novel that I just picked up, which is pretty cool too. MF Grimm. Taipan, The Rise, The Fall, The Rise, kind of an obscure single. I don't know if these guys are from California. I can't really remember, but I really like this single. The Rise, The Fall, The Rise, on some kind of smoothed out gangster shit. It's good though. And last but not least is my record skipping. Snafu Blunt Smokers EP 95-98 from Dope Folks. I had the original version of this on my want list for a long time. Never could really find a deal on it, and I saw that Dope Folks finally pressed this up and jumped all over it. So those are the 12-inch singles I've picked up over the last year or so, and hope you enjoy. Peace.